Good morning, students. I am Sadhna Gupta, TGT English at KV number 1, Patiala, Kent. In this part today, we are going to take up a detailed discussion of the poem Fire and Ice, written by Robert Frost. It is an extremely interesting poem conflicting emotions of fire and ice. Fire is symbolic of desire, greed, avarice, and ice, it is symbolic of coldness, rigidity. So, before we delve deep into the meaning and analysis of the poem, let's have a quick reading of the poem. Try to enjoy its music, lyrical quality and lyrical beauty of this poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Let's read it once again, please. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So, in this poem, the poet is talking about the old question whether the world will come to an end with fire or ice. This is similar to another old question, whether we would prefer to freeze to death or burn to death. The speaker determines that each option, either of these options, would achieve its purpose sufficiently well. The poem is expressing a profound idea that the world will end in either of the two ways, either by ice or by fire. One group is of the opinion that someday the earth's core, the earth's center will get so heated up that it would lead to fire, destroying the surface of the earth. On the other hand, the second group of people say that if the temperature goes down to an extent that makes the life on earth impossible, it would have the same catastrophic effect, same disastrous effect. Now, that is the that is the surface meaning of the poem, but the deeper meaning lies in the symbolic meanings of fire and ice. These are fire, desire and hatred. The poet says that he is aware about the fiery desires, the desires of human beings, and he says he is in favor of fire. That is, fire would be the cause of destruction of this world. And he says the idea actually here is that he is trying to convey the idea that human beings, they are led by their emotions, they are led by their feelings, they let their emotions rule them. That is, and the consequence of this is that we are called, we want this thing, we want that thing, desires are so many, hatred for people is so much that ultimately it is going to lead to chaos and destruction of humanity. Now, let's have a stanza-wise discussion of the poem. Stanza number 1. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Again I repeat, the poet is considering the question whether this world will come to an end with fire or cause of ice. The poet provides two possible causes for the end of this world, and this is a kind of debate going on, right? Which road to choose, whether he should stop and he should continue for his journey. Similarly, he is thinking that whether the world will end with fire or with ice. Now, poet says that I have tasted enough of desire, and this is my opinion that this world will come to end because of fire. He says that heat and the passion, this will lead the humanity to end. But then he says that on the other side of the debate are people who think that this world will freeze to death. Freezing here refers to the coldness in the hearts of the people. The hearts of the people, they have lost their warmth. They have lost their belongingness with the people. They have become more materialistic and they are rigid, insensitive, inconsiderate towards the fellow people. There is a lack of empathy in the hearts of people. This can lead to destruction of the world. Frost is providing a powerful statement on the subject of greed and jealousy. He is saying that hatred, it is a trait of humanity. It would lead to the demise. Demise is death of humanity. Desire is the greatest problem the world is facing nowadays. We see in our day-to-day world, every day we say that we are desirous of so many things. Desires never come to an end. One desire is fulfilled, then second desire is ready, second is fulfilled, then third is ready. This we see right from the small child to grown-ups. Everybody is making a long list of his desires. Some desires are good, which drive us, but then there are certain desires which bring about a negative energy out of us. So this negative energy can lead to the destruction of the humanity. So this kind of desire, this will lead to the destruction of humanity. That is the poet trying to convey. Now let's see stanza 2. Stanza 2 of the poem is where the poet is thinking whether it will be ice or fire. Again, the same thing is there. Stanza 2. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of fate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So, we are getting the idea that the poet is sure of the destruction of humanity. Maybe physically it doesn't mean that this world will come to an end and this will again become means the earth of the olden time, millions and billions of years old, but humanity is being dead, dying in these days. So he is talking about that. And now he says that if the world has to perish twice, perish is to come to an end, to die, then this hatred, he says, I know enough of hate. This hatred will end humanity one day. He is discussing the power of hate, which is symbolized by ice. It is as powerful as desire. And he says this concept of hate can also end this world. He says that the devastation that hate can produce is enough to put an end to life on this world. It is in the minds of people, in the hearts of people, and it keeps on going and going for years, for lifetime, and it takes all the positivity, all the goodness of a person, turning him again into a beast. It consumes the hater, and so the person who is hating someone, he is also destroying himself. It can ruin lives. Hate is destructive and sinful also. Hate is presented as having the ability to lead the destruction of the world, and if this destruction were to happen a second time, it would be the main cause of this may be ice, that is hatred. So the poet has brought about his concept very clearly that either fire or ice, that is hatred or desire, they may lead to the destruction of humanity. So children, as we can see, that poet, he wants to aware the humanity that everything will end one day as a result of human deeds, human misdeeds I should say. He says both fire and ice are destructive. Fire of violent desires will put an end to the world, and if the world is to perish twice, then it will be perished by hatred between humanity, between human beings, one human being hating the other person. It is ice is a symbolic of hatred. So that is the idea the poet has brought about through his words. What is the main idea of this poem? That is actually the main idea, that human emotions are destructive when allowed to run out of control. They can destroy a person morally, mentally. They can destroy a person morally, mentally, or physically. The poet impresses upon the readers the destructive result of bearing ill feelings like greed, avarice, lust, conflict, fury, hatred, intolerance, indifference, insensitivity, lack of empathy. All these feelings, when we are devoid of them, it is the world is nearing its end. That is the crux of this poem, that fire and ice, that the world will surely end one day. It is to decide, it is we human beings which will make it come to an end, and the possible reasons will be either desire, various forms of desire into greed, avarice, collecting material things, or it can be ice, that is forgetting our values, forgetting our people around us, just accumulating wealth. Actually, these two terms are they are opposite also, but at the same time they go hand in hand. So that is the main idea of this poem. Now children, we have come across a few new words. Let's see. Desire, wish, you know about it. Hold is to take side, favor. The poet says that I hold with those who favor desire. Favor is you show your bias, you are inclined towards this thing. Perish is to die. Suffice is sufficient. It says that the ice is sufficient to put an end to the world. That is what our poet is saying. So let's see the next part of the poem. Children, here is a list of the elements which are covered under fire and list of elements that are covered under ice. Fire is symbolic of desire, greed, avarice, lust, fury. On the other hand, ice is symbolic of hatred, intolerance, rigidity, insensitivity, coldness, indifference, lack of understanding. These are the forces, these are the traits which are highlighted by ice. That is, we are turning towards an ice age where human beings, they were devoid of any relations, any understanding. Now children, after reading the poem, let's see the literary devices used in this short lyric. As this is a very short poem of 9 lines, but the poet has infused a lot of literary devices in it. First of all is alliteration. You are all familiar with alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of same consonant sound for 2 or more than 2 words together. The consonant sound occurs in the beginning of the word. Let's see, the first one is, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. This line has got alliteration, some say. World will, again some say. I hold with those who favor fire. Favor fire. And his second is paradox. Paradox is contradictory statement. But if it had to perish twice, if the world comes to an end once, how will it perish twice? That is paradox. Yet we go along with this, yes, this thing can happen. That is paradoxical statement. Now children, symbolism. This poem is full of symbolic meanings. All along the poet is talking in symbols. Fire, fire is symbolic of desire, and ice is symbolic of hatred. And imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is the poet is creating images in our mind through his words. He is bringing the feeling of, with fire he is bringing the feeling of heat and light, but also burning and being. And similarly ice may have a soothing effect, yet it is bringing the feeling of coldness, indifference, intolerance. Children, rhyme scheme we have studied earlier also. Rhyme scheme is we see the last sound, ending sound of each line. This poem is in the form of rhyme scheme ABA, ABC, BCB. This is the rhyme scheme of the poem. Try to make this rhyme scheme by yourself also. Other than these literary devices, the poet has also used parallelism. parallelism is the repetition of same words in the beginning of two lines. When the poet is using the same words for a beginning of two or three lines, then it is parallelism. For example, in this the poet is saying, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So he is beginning two lines with some say, which is an example of parallelism. Then the poet is also using another poetic device, that is allusion. Allusion is referring to something, quoting an example of something, making an oblique reference to something. So he is making an oblique reference in his poem. With fire, he is referring to global warming also. And when he is talking of ice, he is referring not directly, but we can draw the result that he is referring to ice age also. Throughout his poem, he is trying to create an imagery of fear and suspense in our hearts. We are thinking, how will this world end? That is the kind of, he is creating an image in our eyes through his words. We are able to feel the words, we are able to feel the desire, we are able to feel the hatred, we are able to feel the fire and ice quoted by the poem. So this is a very, very powerful poem created by the great poet Robert Frost, and in a very few words, very few sentences, he has brought about the idea that this world is surely coming to an end, and it will end with either fire or with ice. Thank you, children. Thank you, children. Thanks a lot.